Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And I want to welcome you to this Wednesday's Shortcuts for Your Soul, which is about why humans suffer. And this male being, has come through calling himself the highest self. And it's really fascinating how, when you get aligned to the different levels of consciousness that are available to you, it's very fascinating what happens. I get awakened at 5:45 this morning to the voice saying, it's all about caring and what you care for and how you care for it and the way in which you care for things. And it was really very fascinating. So we're going to go into this. It's going to be a very important message to grasp and comprehend. What he said to me, he says, if any of you can grasp and maintain at even 1% of what he says today, you will find yourself moving away from suffering towards living your being. And when I ask him what he means by living your being, he says that which you are, that came into this world to be as you are while in this world. He also says, though, people have to learn to be as they are in this world, as they are above this world. You have to bring yourself down into this realm fully, consciously, deliberately, mindfully, intelligently. And it's very fascinating. He says, so I'm lying there at 5:45 as he starts downloading all this information to me. And he says, you have to start where you are. You cannot start where you are not. He says, many people want, the fancy cars and they want all the rewards without the effort. And I said, well, what sort of effort do people need to begin to engage in to end their suffering? And the first thing he said is they have to begin caring about the two most important things they have in this world. And he said the very first thing that's the most important is your mind. He says you have to learn to have care in your mind and care for your mind. It is very important you establish caringness in your mind as the way you think. And the second thing he said is to have a body that you care for. Most of you do not even care for your minds and bodies enough that you can't even care about anybody else or anything else. The reason so many of you suffer is because you do not care about your mind and you do not care about your body. What you put into it, what you put in both is very important. And it must be done mindfully and intelligently. And many of you have become quite stupid about being able to do this. You've lost track of what is right for your body, what is right for your mind. You've become disconnected from who you are and so attached to this body and this mind as being the sole point and source of identifying who you are, that you are lost. You are lost in this matter and you are unable to bring yourself forward into this world as you intended. Yes. He says intention is not enough. If you cannot formulate caring intentions and back them up with caring actions, it's very difficult. These plagues, these things that are troubling humanity now are not troubling you because you are bad or you are wrong. You are not functioning in alignment with vibrations of energy such as care and love. You are not functioning effectively from those towards your minds and your body. And those of you that do not function in alignment with what is good and right for your mind and body are getting sick. You expect to eat garbage and expect your body to be healthy and happy. And then you wonder, why am I sick? Why am I sick? This is because you're not putting the things with care into your body. You're not putting things into your mind with care. You're not acting out in this world with those things. How can you? How can you act caringly in this world when you do not even care about your own body? You expect to be able to give gold from another when you hold iron in your heart? You cannot. It's very fascinating, when you realize that these beings are with us all the time. They're with you all the time. It is our chance now as a species. Suffering is a net result of how we have been behaving as individuals. And as that collective of individuals, those two things determine the net result that we see in the world today. Humanity is not getting sick because of some virus. Humanity's been getting sick because we have not taken proper care of ourselves. This is what they're telling me. We have not taken proper care of our minds and our bodies. They say, if you were, you would not get sick. There is no virus. There is no virus that would want to destroy your body to recycle it because it's unhealthy. Many of you say, well, my body was healthy, but I got sick anyway. Well, what is in your mind? Because you cannot get disease if you have no disease in your mind or in your body. Disease. If your mind is clear, if your mind is present, if your mind is caring, and your body is aligned to that in action, you cannot get sick. You cannot get diseased. But many of you operate in ignorance. You put chemicals in your food and poisons in your air to try and make things taste better or feel better, and then wonder why you get sick when you put something that is wrong to put into your body or something that is wrong to put into your thoughts. For you cannot separate the behavior of the two from each other. They go together. What you do to your body will affect your mind. For if you put chemistry in the body, then it clouds the mind. If you put cloudy thoughts in your mind, then you cloud the body and its functionality. So the resolution to ending the suffering of humanity doesn't come with trying to change everything all at once. It comes simply from starting right from where you are at this moment. What is an act of caring that you can do right from where you are? Is there something you can think that is a caring thought? You might find, well, how can I be caring if I'm sitting in this chair or I'm standing here? Oh, I just realized my body is thirsty. I'm going to give my body water because I care about my body. My body's hungry. Maybe I'll eat some of this fresh fruit I have on the counter here. Oh, I'm thinking bad thoughts about my uncle or my sister or my brother. Those thoughts are not caring. If you put caring thoughts in here, you'll have uncaring energy in your body. It is important that you learn to make a distinction between who you are as this limitless being that you truly are, and then be able to bring that down into this realm. You cannot, if the door is closed, if you try to fit 1,000 pounds through a 1 ounce hole, you will not succeed. You must expand your mind, enliven your body with more life, so that you can bring more of what you are into this world. All of you know this exists. All of you know there is a better life. All of you know this. But you scratch your head wondering, well, how can I get this life? You try to get it from out there. But you are the life that is trying to come forward into this world. And how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you bring this self forth? This limitless being that is you. You can't do it all at once. Some of you are at different places of suffering. Some of you are lesser places of suffering. But the principle is exactly the same for all of you. Start with where you are. Consciously, deliberately, thinking and caring in action. Is your body thirsty? Give it water. Is it hungry? Give it food that it needs. Not food that simply tastes good to please your senses for your own self-satisfaction, or we might say your own selfish satisfaction, but put that which in the body that gives it more life. How do you give your body more life? Do you give it by eating a McDonald's or a pizza or drinking caffeine? Do those things give your body more life? Does an apple give your body more life? Does an orange give your body more life than those things? You can make these distinctions, but they must be done consciously. So you take this beautiful piece of orange in your hand and you say, this is life, and I give it to this body. You must be mindful and conscious of your thoughts and actions in each moment. This can be done. You can learn this. You can learn to teach your mind to be mindful. You can teach your mind to direct your body more effectively. But you ultimately are the one that is responsible for what thoughts reside in your mind and what actions issue forth from your physical form. But you are not these things. You came here to develop the awareness that you could be this limitless potential, even in this limited form, and to experience yourself in this light deliberately and intentionally. The love that you have for life has not been actualized if you are suffering. You have not actualized your potential if you are suffering. Many of you are trying to get the end of your suffering from the world. Maybe someone, my doctor or a nurse or a friend, will end my suffering, but they cannot. You can end your suffering mindfully, deliberately, intelligently, consciously. You can do this. You are as great as the greatest of any of us or others. But you must realize this and begin to clean the clutter from your mind and from your bodies and from your actions. Can you truly be present enough? Can you truly become present enough to know that when you pick an object up, that object, whether you call it glass or metal, that object is energy. It is an aspect of your creation. You engage these things with caring and kindness. Do you do this with all things, with all animals, with the life around you? Do you engage everything caringly? How can you if you don't care about yourself? And if you're suffering, you will share that suffering with others, and only you can ameliorate your suffering. There are those in this planet that are very small that need you to protect them, to guard them, to guide them, that need you to teach them how to not suffer. And yet you walk around complaining and worrying and fussing and fuming, hoping this will end your suffering, but it does the exact opposite. And you wonder, why is it getting worse? And we simply say to you, because you haven't changed the direction of your attention and your focus. Thank you. I'm just telling the being that I'm really delighted that he's here today. As I said, when he started talking to me this morning, it completely changed a lot about what is happening for me personally, and how I know why I'm doing some of the things I'm doing with my life, why we put the courses and classes we have together, and why more and more of these beings are going to be coming and working with all of us. But yeah, I know. He's saying it's crucial to understand. It's crucial to understand that you have to be conscious and deliberate in your thought. You have to be conscious and deliberate in your actions. You must be mindful and present of the quality of the being that you are being. The being that you are being as an awareness that has the ability to correct thought, that has the ability to still the body. Can you still your body? Can you quiet your mind? You can learn to do this. It is easy to learn to do, to quiet your mind, to still your body, and to begin to rebuild your life here, to rebuild your expression here, one moment at a time, learning the fundamental skills that you can learn right now, to quiet your mind, to be in this moment, to feel unencumbered by thought, to feel uninhibited by the body, through your love of it, for your caring of them. For if you are truly extending care and compassion and kindness to your mind and your body in thought and in action, you will have a very caring, compassionate, healthy, and vital body. And we've had many say to us, well, please help us, please help us. And we say, but you are as us. You are as us. And you think you are as this. But the only way you can change this is by being who you are. And being who you are requires that you make a distinction between your thoughts. And you make a distinction between your body. These are instruments. Wonderful, remarkable, incredible instruments that were made for you to express your being through in all of its incredible glory. Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to take steps? Are you willing to learn the simple things, and they are very simple things. Don't think so much. Don't eat things that are bad for your body. Do things with kindness, patience, compassion, understanding. So many of you now are running around in fear of these things out there that the real power for who you are is ignored, which is what you are. The thing you're hoping to get protection from is yourself. You need to bring yourself in consciously, deliberately, mindfully. Restore yourself to your mind. Restore yourself to your body. Restore yourself to your actions, so that every act, every molecule of this physical being, every molecule of life around you rejoices at the presence of your love, of the being of that which you are here and now. But you must be aware of this. You must clear the clutter, sweep your mind clean of the past, sleep your mind clean of the future, cleanse your body of the garbage that you put in it. Begin to restore yourself. It's a fascinating thing. Restore yourself. This is your store. Restore yourself. Bring yourself in all of your splendor into your mind and in your body. So as we draw closer to the beginning of our mediumship courses, these beings are going to be more intensely focusing on each of us. They are going to be guiding us to recognize that we are as they are, and then how to actualize that into physical time and space. How to manifest love in your mind. How to get rid of thoughts that do not serve you. How to get rid of habits that bung your system up, that restrict you from being who you are in this world. And a lot of people say, well, this is who I am, this is the only life I've got. Well, no, this is not. We direct these things, right? I am directing this form. It's not directing me right now. Do not make the error of thinking that you are just your mind or your body. A lot of the suffering comes by your identification with limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs, and limiting ideas. He's saying it's really important to understand the need that your body has to be loved. Like a dog or cat, it needs care. And we often forget these things. In mediumship course, we cover a process for diet, for health, for vitality. What do you need to put in the body? Your body that gives it more life. What do you need to put into your mind that gives it greater clarity and a more expanded being, instead of being limited to the vibration of anger or guilt or shame or fear? Learn how to let those things go. Restore your light to your mind and your body. Restore yourself. Rebuild yourself in the present moment. You did not come here to suffer. You came here to create and express the fullness of your being in time and space and matter. There is no child that was born into this world with the plan or the idea of suffering. That became something they learned. We've learned. I certainly learned how to suffer in this lifetime. And we all went through that process of learning how to suffer and then realizing, oh, this is not what I want. Let's find another way. And for some of us, it can be a really long road back, or it can be a really short road back. We don't have to take years and years and years to liberate yourself from the confinement of your limited belief systems. It doesn't have to take years to restore your body from the suffering that's been put upon it by the junk food you've eaten, the sugars, the caffeines, the alcohol, the stuff that you put in your body that you think are going to make you feel good. They don't. They make your awareness perceive there's a sensation that feels good, but they do not make your body feel good. I don't need to get into research. They don't need to get into research about the reality of substances and how they affect the body. But we do that because we don't know how to access the higher potential that we are. So when we don't know how to access the actual higher potential that we are, we think we're stuck trying to find it here in this world. So we try to find something in this world that makes us feel good and feel good out there. So we spend time trying to find that in this world. And most people, the majority of people, never find it. They go through a physical incarnation, they get to a certain point, it dies, they start to cycle over again. The birth-death cycle repeats over and over again. You don't have to do that anymore. Once you get to an understanding that you are not this, that your true joy comes in the creative being that you are, this limitless potential, this awareness that you are, that can be aware of your thoughts, that can be aware of your body and its sensations, and how to adjust the consciousness in both so that they begin to mirror what you are as a limitless potential. And we see many examples of those beings on the planet today. People who have unlimited wealth, people who are always happy, have cultivated a consciousness that does not have restrictions on it, that allows it to manifest those things and express in that way, even if they have money or don't have money. The quality of consciousness is what you want to get to. A quality so that when you wake up like I did this morning, and the being says to me, you need to learn to care in every moment, every word, every thought, every action, every gesture needs to be an extension of the beautiful you that is you. Now imagine waking up and having somebody say that to you. Be the beautiful potential that is you. Become it. You have to do it consciously. You cannot do it in your mind, but you can do it with your mind. You cannot do it in your body, but you can do it with your body. You can learn to reorganize the information in your mind so that it more closely represents a limitless being that you are, a divine consciousness that's inhabiting a physical mechanism in time and space. And it doesn't have to take years. You don't have to spend years doing this. You'd be amazed at how quickly I've watched people where we've said, go out and buy, a 5-pound bag of carrots and juice a 5-pound bag of carrots and watch what it does to your body. Or go out and juice a 5-pound bag of apples or oranges and drink it and watch what your body feels when you give it life. Simple things that you can learn that will not be shortcuts per se, but will begin a restoration process. And from my perspective, in my experience, when you start putting more life in the body and you start to allow yourself to feel what which you put in your body is doing to it, it's an amazing thing. I highly recommend the 5 pounds of carrot, juice 5 pounds, really go out, juice up 5 pounds of carrots and drink that carrot juice down. And you're going to be buzzed. You're going to get a buzz. Your body's going to get buzzed like you've never felt it getting before, because of the elements in the carrots. Living food gives you more life. And you're going to learn about all this stuff with us in these courses and classes. They start September the 5th. You can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and you can get all the information under courses about the different courses we offer starting this September. I'll put the information for the courses up on the wall in a moment. Well, I can do it right now. If you want to have some information about it right now, we can do that. Let's see if I can do this. It's go like this and then go like, there we go. Okay, so let's hide. There we go. It'll just take a moment while that one pops up. Wonderful. So there's our Mediumship 101 course, which begins September the 5th. And we got Joe Goldsmith and Michael Rolla and Tatiana Hellier, who are going to be working with myself and Norma Jones and all the divine beings that we work. And this is a beginner's course. This is a beginner's course in mediumship to learn to disconnect from just being this body mind that most of you are, and reconnecting to the awareness that you are, that has access to information, ideas, and inspiration that go beyond what you know with your 5 physical senses. And will literally walk you through a process of how to reintegrate your consciousness back into an awareness of what you already are. The language that I'm speaking right now might be a little difficult, but the reality is you're not this body. It's an instrument you have. You're not the thoughts in your mind. That's information you've acquired from this physical world. You are the awareness that has access to information, ideas, beings, angels, archangels, guides on other dimensions that are available to you. In the course, we also emphasize the importance of learning how to alter and change your vibrational energy. If you're at a low vibrational state, you're going to experience low vibrational experiences. When you're in a higher vibrational state, you're going to experience higher vibrational experiences. It's really an energetic thing. You can't mix oil and water. The constitution of those two things keeps them separate. So if you're identified with body mind as self, then you'll keep yourself separate from the greater self that is out there, because you're in a vehicle that's separate. But when you can expand and extend your awareness beyond the immediacy of time space, so into the energy that is you, you start to pick up things that are beyond your 5 physical senses of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. because your 5 physical senses can only give you information from this world. And you're going to learn tons of this stuff. You're going to learn how to recognize what platform of awareness you're coming. Are you coming from your body? Are you coming from your mind? Are you coming from your awareness? Are you tapping into angelic beings? Can you feel and know the presence of these beings around you? You'll learn how to do the basic steps in how to start connecting to beings outside of the scope of your own personal understanding of what you think life is. So that when I wake up at 5:45 in the morning, or I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got a being or an archangel talking to me, I know what it feels like. I can tell, wow, this is an extremely evolved being, because my energy expands. And when you're in the presence of beings that are more love-based than fear-based, your energy expands. When you're in the presence of beings that are fear-based, and your energy will contract, right? But some of the things that he said today about why so many humans suffer is really very true. We suffer because we become disconnected. We become disconnected from who we are. And we're so lost in the fear that our mind-body is bound in. Your body was not designed to do anything more than to survive. Your mind is not designed to do anything more in and of itself, as it's related to the body, anything more than what the 5 physical senses have communicated to it about reality. Only you, as the awareness, can begin to interact with your mind and body in a more conscious and deliberate fashion, to begin to reorganize them, to actually reorganize the information and the frequency or the vibration of matter, mind and body, so that your expression begins to match the vibration or the quality of consciousness, the ideas, the thoughts you begin to cultivate, and the things you begin to put into your body. Because you've got to clean the body up too. And we get into that in the course in great detail as well. So yeah, go on over to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and you can get more information about that. So let's again welcome everybody. Those people that are new today, thank you for coming by today. I greatly appreciate it. I really appreciate your support. If you want to support these messages, the Shortcuts for Your Soul and Supernatural Saturday, you can do so by becoming a member of our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. You can also support this through the super chats and the conversation panel. Here is another way to support the work. And I want to thank, I couldn't quite catch who it was because there's just so much happening. Bogmilla, I want to thank you for that $5 donation. Thank you very much. Your message will come in just a moment. So yes, getting to this place in conscious where you're deliberately, intentionally thinking your thoughts, deliberately and intentionally letting things come in the body that support the body. If your body's truly healthy, as he said earlier, if your body's truly healthy, if your mind is truly clear and unmuddled, you cannot get sick. And that's why healthy people go, why am I getting sick? Dig into their minds, you'll find beliefs and ideas in there about that they've received from the world that are resident in their mind, that get triggered, that cause an effect in the body. Much the same way you can be watching a scary television show and you find your body going, oh my gosh. Your system will react to the information that's coming into it unless you're present and aware. And again, in the Mediumship 101 beginner's course, you learn the fundamentals of cultivating your awareness, altering your diet, the beginning of meditation, how to meditate effectively and properly, learning to become aware of the energy and the presence of higher vibrational beings around you. And we emphasize throughout the course, raising your vibration, literally raising your vibration up. Raising it up deliberately and intentionally, and you do that with the quality of your thoughts and the quality of what you're doing with your body and the quality of your actions. They raise or lower your vibration. If you're angry, your vibration goes down. If you're joyful, your vibration goes up. If you're putting in toxic foods in your body, the energy of your body goes down. If you're putting living foods in your body, the energy of your body goes up. It becomes a really simple formula. And when you start to experience in your body and your mind the change in your awareness of them, it's very rewarding. And we have lots of students. The course of the class, as it said on the flyer, is $199 for 3 weeks. And the course runs from Monday to Friday for 3 weeks. We have a different medium interacting with you every day, plus the guides and angels that work with me will come through and do specific meditations at unscheduled times throughout each week, which is always exciting and fun. All of the courses are done on Zoom. We do create a Facebook page where people can network and interact with each other on a Facebook group page where you can share your experiences with other students and connect with each other. Because it's really important that you get into a collective where everybody's focused in the same direction. right? You look at SpaceX or Tesla. The level of focus those beings have in what they're doing is profound, and it's why it's growing so exponentially, because the focus is there. So too in these courses, when you're focused with other students, your energy and your growth are exponentially elevated up. Yes, we'll get to this now. So questions. I'm just gonna scroll up a little bit here. Hi, Melina. Hi, Emma. Oh, and for repeat students, for students that have come back, and we've had students that have come back to our courses 2 and 3 times because they wanted to deepen the awareness they'd gotten from the previous one. For repeat students, the cost is only $99 US. So hopefully we'll see some of you guys then. And the students they're a great support system for each other too. I'm just scrolling way up. Here we go. Good morning, Bogumila. Good morning, Lori, Giovanna, Manoj. I'm going to get to this question from Bogumila first. Thank you for that super chat, Bogumila. I really appreciate it. Is there a message? Does my higher self have messages for me? I'm getting a lot of laughter. They always have messages for you. They always have messages for everyone. Can you turn your ear up and listen upwards? What are you saying it like that for? We say this simply as a way of turning your awareness up, turning your attention upward to outside of what is familiar to you, and you will hear us. Turn your attention away from your thoughts, from your body, from this world. Turn your attention up. In that place, you will hear us say simply to you, you are beginning to let that go now. You are beginning to release the hold yourself has had upon you. What do you mean by that? This system that you live in has been closed off from allowing you to be fully who you are. We feel you, especially from today now, you are ready to begin to open this door again, to begin to go into the house and clean it up. This is the time to go into your house and clean it up. We do not simply mean your physical house, but this physical body in which you reside, this realm of energy called your mind that you exist in. Become the caring and loving one that you are in all your words and your actions. All of your words and actions, if they are truly reflective of who you are, you will know you have no limit. Thank you. And this is one of the things that when I got out of bed and I started doing as you know, we were on vacation for a week at Toronto Island here, and we just kind of grounded and reset things. And so coming back to the house and looking at all the little things that can be done, there's always something you can do. There's always in every moment an opportunity for you to be a caring and loving individual, consciously and deliberately, to make certain, not just in thought, but in action. I was cleaning a pot this morning as I was washing this dish. I was cleaning the pot, and he said to me, "Are you caring about the pot? Are you extending caring towards the pot?" And I went, "Well, no, I better do that." So I started to really wash the pot with this feeling of caring about it, and I could actually feel the molecules in the pot send an energy back to me that said, "Thank you for caring." It was really profound. It triggered in my memory a story I'd read of Carl Jung, where he used to talk to his pots and pans in his kitchen. And I understand now why he did that, because the consciousness is there, whether it's in a glass of water or it's in a frog or a toad. The consciousness interacts with us when we interact with it. So it was very fascinating. Learn to interact with the things around you consciously, caringly, and be mindful of how it responds to you, because it's energy. It's very exciting. I'm really excited about these classes and courses, because and it goes. For those of you who are registered, welcome. You'll be getting the night before the course starts. You'll be receiving all the course information about where the Zoom meetings will occur. You'll receive a course schedule, what's happening over the 3 weeks, and we're going to look forward to working with you and on the orientation on the Saturday the 5th. We do a group orientation on Zoom. And it's the only group orientation that we do for the full 3 weeks until the next course begins. Right, thank you. I love it. Okay, so let's get into this. And thank you again for that question, Bogmilla. Let's go here. Question from Manoj. Does my higher self want to tell me anything? He's saying, have you not been listening to me? Have you not been listening? I'm right above you. Can you hear me? If you've been listening, you have heard. And what he told me again early this morning is he said, if you can get at least even 1% of everything that's presented here today, you'll begin to break things open again. You'll begin to open yourself up energetically. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lysandra. Question from Sean. Let's put it up on the screen here so everybody can see it here. As he said, I'm still learning all these three-dimensional stuff. Things are fun. What is the basic anatomy of how the body is connected to consciousness? Been trying to work with the consciousness of all parts of the body. They're saying the basic anatomy of the consciousness connection to your body is that you are connected to it. Can you not open your hand? That is you connected to the consciousness in the hand, and the hand responding to this. This is not a complex thing. To understand the simplicity that you as an awareness are connected to all facets of this form if you are so conscious of it. Just as you may be conscious, we know that many of you are easily connected to your arms and your legs and your heads and your voices and your eyes and your ears, but very few of you are connected to your heart. Very few of you are connected to your liver or your kidney. Very few of you listen to them or hear them, but you are connected to them all regardless. If you are not aware of them, then you will not cultivate a healthy relationship with them. If you ignore a flower in your window, it will die from lack of care. You should spend time being interconnected and interrelated to the different functioning organisms in your body, for each organ is an organism in and of itself that functions collectively with the whole of your form. So get into a relationship. You already are. Become conscious of your relationship with your body and all within it. Become conscious. Great question, Sean. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. A question from Earth Angel. Let's see. Question, do we each have our own higher self? And William, this being you are channeling, is he your own higher self? Thank you. He told me I am the highest self, is what he said. And I asked him, I said, are you the highest of all selves? I asked him that question because it's a natural question to ask. And he said, no, I am the highest self that you, as you are, can conceive of, be aware of, and have a relationship with. Which makes perfect sense to me. It's like if I'm standing in this room and somebody's in that building yelling to me and I can't hear them, it doesn't mean they're not there. But he says there are many beings on many dimensions of consciousness and awareness that are well beyond the scope of even his presence and consciousness, what he calls I am the highest self. There are beings that are above him that he is not aware of, but there are beings above him that he is aware of. He says you can liken it to a string of pearls being held untethered up and down. Each one has one above it, but the one here has a relationship to the one immediately above it, and so on. He says you humans can learn to extend your awareness well beyond the five physical senses to us and beyond. And he did say us, which is fascinating too. I said, so there's more than one. He said, yes, there is. There's the one that you individually can align yourself to begin the process of training, but there are many others that you can align yourself to that have their own individual manifestations of mind and form and formless, which is really fascinating. I'm so glad you asked that question, Earth Angel. So yes and yes. A question from Adam. Can you ask Archangel Michael if the dog on my Facebook of my Facebook friend Kadeen is still alive, since it has gone missing over a week ago, and can he do anything to bring the dog Brody back to Kadeen? Oh, good question. Well, the first thing I get is no. But this one will be okay. Okay, so the no is to the second part. The first part requires, is his love strong enough for this one? Is his love strong enough for this one? For you must understand, if you relate to anything with fear or anger, anything of a body itself, what do you mean by that? Anything of the animal kingdom, he's saying. Anything of the animal kingdom, if you operate with fear towards it, it will leave you. If you operate with anger towards it, it will leave you. It's why he's saying this is why many humans enslave animals, because they know that the animals would not naturally acclimatize themselves towards humans because of the way most people treat animals on this planet. But is there anything you can do to reverse this? He's saying if this one takes the time to go into his love and only his love, to commit only to his love of this one, to extend that love to that one so it feels it and it knows it, then it will come back in form and not in form. What do you mean by that? That if the form has been damaged, the essential nature, the energy of that being will come to him and be present with him. It is still possible that this one may come back in form, but he must extend his love and only his love, not his fear, not his doubt, not his shame. He must extend only his love to this one. Yes, please communicate that to him, Adam. I understand exactly what it means. Only his love. I was on the island, second last day on the island. I was walking by, and on this bush was this beautiful yellow orange bird. It was almost like a Baltimore Oriole. I think it was a Baltimore Oriole. Again, I don't know that bird species, but it was just sitting on the branch, literally 1.5 feet away from me. And I turned to it and I went, "Good morning. How are you?" And I noticed its eyes were closed. And so I leaned up to it so it was literally, the bird was literally this close to me. And I went, "Good morning, are you all right?" And its eyes opened and he tilted his head slightly. And he said to me, "I need to rest." Energetic, I felt that from it. I need to rest. I said, okay. So I stepped back and I went about my business. I came back every few minutes checking on him. And each time I come, he'd open his eyes sooner. And he'd say, "I'm almost there." And it was an amazing thing. That life does not flee when you're in a state of love and grace. And you see videos of these beings in Africa who can run around with jaguars and lions. When you're in a vibration of love, whether it's, and I'll tell you something, you cannot be in a vibration of love if you're not in a vibration of love here and here. It's hard to be loving out there. You have to learn. That's why it's important to learn to retrain your mind, retrain your body consciousness with proper foods to a vibration that matches love. Very fascinating. And of course, today's message was, I was given a foreshadowing of this event on Monday after I did Shortcuts for the Soul. I went walking down the street here in Toronto, and literally as I'm walking down the street back to the subway, because I had to go back and break camp and bring everything back. So I'm going to the subway, and literally this falls out of the sky and lands at my feet. Literally just landed, whoop, to the right side of me. And we know that we have a pair of hawks that fly around the buildings that we live in. And I went, "Thank you. For me, this is a message," right? Because I don't know if you study some of the native teachings where they talk about how the spirits of animals, everything is an energy, and everything that is energy, it has an information in it. And if you can extract the information from it, people call them signs, but if you can get the right information from it and say, there was an important message coming. And of course, that's what we're all receiving today, this message about being caring, consciously caring and loving. Thank you so much. So we're here. So let's carry on. I have no idea where we are time-wise. Oh, we got 12 minutes left. That's wonderful. Isn't that wonderful? Again, if you want to prioritize your questions, thank you, Melina. I really appreciate that. Yes. Go down here a little further. Adam, got to you. Hi, Betsy. Good to see you today. Hello, Angela. Hi, Janine. Where are we? Janine. Daniel. Question from Daniel. Let's see here. How can I feel my spirit team is with me? I do want to channel my ancestors' wisdom to write about it. What is blocking me other than me with my limiting beliefs? Becoming aware of the energy, Danielle. It's important. Your guides and your angels, multidimensional beings, can only, remember, most of us are conditioned to perceive reality exclusively through our 5 physical senses. In our courses and classes, we teach you how to extend your awareness into the energy, how to sense and feel the presence of their energy around you. Because when you call them in, they will come. If I call Archangel Michael, and sometimes they'll come on their own, but you have to be aware of the change in energy. Because just hearing with your ears and seeing with your eyes or feeling with your hands is not enough. This is a different level of energy that you need to become aware of. So becoming aware of how they come into your system, into your awareness, where your awareness perceives them. So learning to retrain your awareness to perceiving energy as non-physical energy around you and how it responds. And there's different ways they come to you. Sometimes they might come to you through a ringing in the ear. Sometimes they might come to you through a pulsing. And again, we go into great detail so each person can find the way and the means that their guides and angels are coming to them. How they present to you might be different than how they present to me, right? Some people get immediate downloads inside the mind, and it's called claircognizance, and they get a knowing of information. But they recognize the knowing of information is different than their thinking. Just as a clairaudience, where you hear a sound or a message, but you're not hearing it with your ears, but you're hearing it as an awareness of language being spoken to you. And you learn to open those clairs up. And we teach you how to do that, how to open your clairs up. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance are the 4 that we work with. Because when you got 2 or more of those opening up, the others start to open up as well. And again, then it's just a matter of practice and maintenance and cultivation. Great question. Thank you so much, Danielle. I think I did. Thank you. Wonderful. A question from Emma. Hi, Emma. I think you should find a job, but don't know what. I think I should find a job, but don't know what to do. Any message from my higher self regarding this? I'm going to study angelic Reiki healing in November and also want to study herb medicine. Those are going to be very powerful. Whoever's saying this to me, they're saying those 2 will be very powerful for you, Emma. Those 2 things. But more important, to learn to become aware of the energy. As far as a job, they're saying don't be in a hurry, but be mindful. Be mindful in the present moment. What makes your heart open? Be mindful for you specifically. You watch and think. What makes your heart open will lead you to that which will fulfill you and align you to this world as your divine purpose. Hope that helps, Emma. Thank you. It's a great question. Oh, wow. Yeah, I just want to put this up. Thank you so much, Drusilla. Really, really appreciate this. And I can agree with that. No, we have not been doing these courses for the money. We have been doing this because it's our work here. There are 1 billion people on the planet awakening simultaneously right now that are yearning and seeking to have information and knowledge that's mostly priced out of most people's way. This is a 3-week course for $199. You're not going to find this anywhere else on the planet with the level of care and compassion that our mediums extend you and the information and the experience that you're going to gain. This is about waking everybody up, getting us all in alignment to our highest potential and bringing that forward and executing a paradigm shift in human collective unconsciousness. And it can't be done with just a handful of people. So there's 1 billion people waking up for that purpose. Very exciting. Thank you so much, Drusilla, for saying that. Question from Lori. Were GMOs created to hinder us as humans in raising our vibrations? Thank you. Lori, I'm really glad you asked this question for a variety of reasons. And the most important reason is this. Humans in the process of learning from a 5 sensorial perspective, survival drives most human behavior. The ability to grow and produce food as our numbers, as our physical numbers grew, the need to provide more food expanded as well. So technologies and ideas and information evolved to sustain this element without mindfulness of how it was going to affect our connection and disconnection from our spiritual element, or how it was going to affect our relationship with the environment. So we produce more meat, more potatoes, we produce all this more stuff, but most of it isn't the right stuff to produce. So GMOs were produced to try and find ways of more effectively organizing and producing food effectively, given the ongoing changes. When they created pesticides, they're saying when they created pesticides to reduce the insect infestation, they were unmindful of the fact that the way in which they were growing foods was attracting insects. So they created pesticides to get rid of the insects that the improper growing methods were causing these insects to appear from. And they resolved one problem but created another. This has been an ongoing problem in the cultivation of foods. The only way you will find yourself sustainably survivable is to identify those things that are most conducive to increasing the life energy in your bodies, not the density of your mass, which is what's going on. You've sustained the mass, but you've not sustained the life, and your sciences are not moving in that direction yet. And they're finding they're having to move away from organic being into what you call electronic being, creating these devices to try and find a place to put your consciousness into a safe place, because your body will not sustain it when it's unhealthy. But the body can be sustained in a very healthy and dynamic way if it is properly taken care of. Thank you so much. Let's scroll here. Wow. Thank you for that, Desiree. I really appreciate it. Any messages for me from my guides? They're saying to let go of your mind's tendency to look back. They're saying that there's a part of your mind that keeps going back to a couple of years ago. You have to pull your attention away from looking back at that particular, they're saying events, not just event, those particular events. You have to pull your attention, keep your attention here and now. Find yourself acting with greater care in the present moment. Be far more mindful of the value of your being doing what it is doing now. If you are mindful of the value in the form of caring and love and compassion, you will find yourself growing much more rapidly and bringing in greater awareness into what you're doing, because the joy that will begin to emerge around you from the actions of care and compassion will be revealed to you, as it will be revealed to all. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you so much, Melina. I really appreciate that. Question. Question from I am. What's the meaning of the fires in California during this time? Wow. This is a process that is sometimes initiated by humans, but there is a natural organic process underway on your planet right now in response to the collective consciousness of your species. If you understand that your environment is not simply there to take care of you, but your environment is also reacting to you, that your fears and your anxieties collectively are causing significant changes in what you call this world. But not only this world, but the relationship your world has to other bodies, what you would call planets, we would call conscious beings, but you are affecting each other. Humanity has not collectively become aware of its impact on energy. The electrical relationship, if we may use that term, between yourselves and all things, when your species first emerged on this planet, under the conditions of love at that time, you sustained civilizations with a much greater enthusiasm and greater respect for not only yourselves, but the world around you. That has been lost for nearly 70,000 years. It is time to restore your collective consciousness to love, so that you may liberate yourself from the suffering that you are causing in your environment. But this event specifically, at this specific time, is an effect of the rage, the anger, and the frustration and the pain of the people localized in that area, and how it is influencing the electrical systems there. What do you mean by electrical systems? The actual life that moves through the planet at that point. The actual life that moves through that part of the planet at that point is affected very severely by the intense fear and anger that exists there. You do not yet understand, as a species, how you impact this world around you with your emotional energies. You may be due for an unpleasant awakening. If you do not want to do this consciously, it will happen automatically. Just as your body will get sick when you ignore it, so too will this planet react to its mistreatment. Thank you. Great question, I am. Thank you so much. Getting down to the last minute here, I'm going to take one more question from Kate here. Quite intimate, but should I go back to my dad's, move out? What are my guides' take on that? They're saying you are trying to solve a problem that does not need to exist in your life. The question we would ask you is, what would give your heart and your body and your mind the greatest joy? And do that. And do that carefully. What would give your mind, your body, and your heart the greatest joy? Not what you think will feel better, but what will actually give you joy. You can think about what would give you joy, and if it would give you joy, you will feel it in your body. Consider that which makes your body feel joy when you think of it. This is what you wish to do. Thank you. And isn't that true? We really should be all living from the qualities, the consciousness, the energy of joy. It has to be a conscious choice. It can't be an automatic choice. And again, I want to remind you, if you want to join us for our Mediumship courses starting September 5th, I'll put that up in the screen for one more moment. And I want to listen, Kate. I want to say thank you. I want to say, everybody, thank you for your questions today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your ears. And make your day amazing. Like, really go from this moment forward conscious and mindful. Is what I'm saying coming from an energy of love? Is what I'm doing coming from an energy of care? Is my being what I want my life to be like? Go forth from this today. And I will see you guys on Friday. Because things, excuse me. Because things are going to really ramp up. So have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. I'm going to make certain that I do, because I'm going to choose to do that. Yes, I got that too. Thank you so much. And again, Lori, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Everybody, have a wonderful and a joyful day, and I will see you